Hello and welcome to the prediction video of Virtual Festival of Songs, edition number 31. Well, I think you've noticed that I'm addressed appropriately as I'm representing Saudi Arabia. I have instructions from the, don't even know what the emirs, whatever they are called, that I should be modest. But anyway, that was a joke. I just wanted to show you that I have this, which I didn't buy obviously from Saudi Arabia. I bought it in Morocco when I went to the desert, and since then I'm just using it and I go to hot countries and I wipe the sweat. Anyway, this one is it's better, it's appropriate as well. It's not Saudi, although it's similar. It's from Jordan. I've got it from ex housemate of mine. He bought this one as a present for me when he visited his place. Anyway, and I'm a little bit festive since we talk about clothes. This one is my festive pajama or whatever it's that, because I'm using it at home as well. That's all with the fashion. This video is about prediction, and we crack on as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. Yeah. So yeah, to summarize in a general note, I thought that this edition wasn't easy to predict. I'm quite unsure by most of the, well, not most of the songs, not most of the countries, just actually the two contenders. I have two contenders, but I'm not quite sure whether they can be the winners. I was quite, as I said, I found this edition quite difficult to predict. But so take this one with a pinch of salt. It's just, I don't know. It was extremely difficult, but I let it beside. So the first country to have in the top 10, I think, is 10th. I prepared some photos. Is Lithuania. Is in the spirit of Christmas. This is the main reason why I thought it would do well. And a bit different. It's ethnic folk band we get sometimes, not often, from Europe. So I thought this one alone may help it climb in top 10. So the next countries, I need to go back my spreadsheet as I don't remember them. Yeah, the next country I think is going to be in the top 10 is yeah, I haven't googled it yet. Let me find it. Yeah, the next country is Venezuela. Yeah, I think Franco stands a good chance of being in top 10, back to back in top 10 for the first time. He hasn't achieved that. As another important record to keep in mind. Something that happened to his previous edition. He managed to grab a first top 10, first back-to-back top 10 for the first time. It's a long-standing member. Franco is as well. So it will be interesting to see whether he will achieve another top 10. The entry is similar, as I said, with the ones you've sent previously for Venezuela, and one more reason I think it stands a good chance of entering the top 10. So in 8th place, I have a country that gave me a little bit problems about predicting or not. I mean exactly where to predict it. It's because I feel it is for certain in top 10. Just wasn't quite sure where it will be. So I think it's going to be Sweden. Just like Lithuania, Sweden is bringing a song that comes into it's very Christmassy. It might not sound Christmassy to many. It's not the standard Christmas song, but it's a joy, and joys are a very integral part of Christmas celebrations in North and Western Europe. It's as well different in the way that it doesn't have instruments. It's almost a cappella, you could say so. And I feel that this will be appreciated by quite few people, and that's why I think it's going to be appreciated. On the other hand, the fact that it doesn't have music, maybe it's a weak point. That's why I decided to keep it in a lower top 10. But all in all, it's a song I think will have an impact. So the next country in the top 10 is again European, but what European would be that one? Let me Google it, find an appropriate photo for them. I found one that is upside down. Yeah, I found a wavy one. Yeah, a wavy line photo for Poland. Yeah, Poland comes with a very current pop song, very dynamic. We've been seeing such songs doing well recently, and therefore I think it's going to do well. I just spotted that window is quite strong. Yeah, so I will move on to the other seat because it's suddenly sun came out and I can't. So let me just rearrange a little bit those things. Yeah, it can't be always perfect, is it? When you do live events. Okay, now it's even better. Anyway, I'm gonna talk for a while. It's not gonna be a short video anyway. After Poland in 6th place, not just very strict, we're not very strict in my ranking, but I would say it's mostly about have a strict top 10, not strict around in terms of ranking. The next country I have, and I've spotted a pattern now, is Estonia. So we have the region here: Poland, Estonia, Lithuania, and Sweden. Let's see if all of them will be in the end there. Poland continues. Yeah, it's actually Valen behind, not Poland, behind the Estonian entry. So what I think here is just it's a follow up of the songs Valen brought to us recently. They've been doing well, but apart from China, so I think that one has the good chances of doing well. It's again current a little bit different. It comes as well with electro and pop sounds. So I feel that one will gain a strong support from players. So Valen in 6th place now. Let's see whether he will be again in the top 10. We are entering now the top 5 territory, but again not very strict. And the one country I think it will be in the top 10 is one of the two I think that will have a breakthrough result this edition. Yeah, it is. Yep, you might have guessed it by now. It is Philippines. Philippines have never been in the top 10. They've appeared twice in FDS. This is the first time we have them in VFoS. The first time they were 13 or 14 from its very small though lineup. I think we were 21 or 23 people back then. What I'm expecting this time, even if they're not in top 10, to achieve their best result ever with the entire tracks picked for them, which is in fact a follow-up from his Japanese entry that won. And it's one reason why I don't think it's going to win. It's so soon, a very similar song. I don't think we will follow the same, will not have the same fate, but it's strong enough be, I believe, to achieve a good result. At the beginning, I had it below in the lower top 10, then decided to do in top 5, just because it was difficult for me to find strong candidates for the top 5, and then I gave it to Philippines just because there was a precedent. And let's see whether this one comes through in the end. In fourth place, we are heading again back to Europe. It's again most of Europe I see in the top 10. Who is gonna be? Who is gonna be? It's a little bit tricky country, well, tricky entry, in fact. Is France. The reason I say it's tricky is because I suspect, but even by the of Mijo's own admission, that the song was a hit, was very well known when it was first produced, I think in the 70s. I have no idea about that one, but quite some of you might have heard. But this one, it won't be, it won't cause any many problems to it, because I would say most of the people around are my age or younger, and therefore may have not heard it. So that's why I still think it's going to do well. It's a familiar French pop that has been doing well in many contests. And then the point of notice, if it is in French, is even something that people appreciate rather than having it in English, because it gets lumped with the songs from other countries. So the fact that it's in French is a little bit of an edge. It's very, very French appropriate pop song. And it's one reason why I think it will do well. So for the next one, again, is the second country I expect to have a breakthrough result. Yeah, I have it here. It is Saudi Arabia. My own submission. I want to have a risky. I'll go by the risky prediction of it, because when I first heard it recently, and it wasn't recently, although I had lined up songs for the whole year, but I won't prefer. When I first heard it, I realized that this one would be a breakthrough. It will have given me a breakthrough result, and then I gave it a position in December to have it as soon as possible. So I go with my gut feeling. When I can't wait submitting something, it means that I feel it will do well, because what I submit as first choice is what I really like to have to share with you in that particular time, with not regarding whether we'll do well or not. This one, when I've heard it and decided I want to change my schedule and put it there, because I feel it will do well. But it's a little bit of a risky option. But the fact that it's a different one, it might make people appreciate it. We've seen it in the past. Songs we didn't think they would do well, and then they did, because people appreciate the fact that someone tried and brought something different. So I'm based my estimation about the fate of the Saudi song is purely based on the fact that it's something we haven't had before. And lofi hip hop is music that I have been listening to recently, some online radios on YouTube, and I was patiently waiting to find one song that was actually a song, not just a background music, and then submitted. And that came out of nowhere, and that's why I decided to try with it. Let's see see what it's going to do. So as I said, Saudi Arabia is, after Philippines, the second country I expect to do a breakthrough result. They had a participation some time ago. It was in the third edition of the VFoS Pablos, and so they did really well. It was 8th. So this one had a little bit of job, more job than Philippines to do. It has to be in top 7. I think it might be. I expect that to be, but it is an open field, as I say, so it might not do that well in the end. We continue with the next country, which I don't think is going to come from Europe. So give a suspense as what I think it will be. Yeah, who is that? wrong flag. It's going to be New Zealand, the entry of Razvan. And the reason I think it's going to be New Zealand actually second, and one of the two contenders as you win the trophy. It comes in a very synth pop, modern. It's a synth pop and composition, very modern, very current with 80s sounds. But it has been a recipe that's been doing really well in many online contests. That's why I'm confident it will go all the way up. And possibly it's going to be New Zealand's best result. I think they've been second and third before. Let's see if they have a way of being again achieving again a second or third place in a bigger field, or even winning it, because I feel it's going to win. But I have it as a contender, but I felt that it was going to win, because normally I feel those songs will do well but not win. It's a gut feeling. I've heard it and I said, okay, it's really nice. It stood out, but I thought it might not be that edgy to win it after all. But let's see what is going to happen. I still have it as a contender. And in first place is, let me find it. It's going to be, no, that one's a small one. And it's going to be the best result if they win it, is Germany. Can you see it? Where is my camera? Yeah, you can see it. It's Germany. Germany has not won. One of the big countries is not doing that well with us, especially most of the times we don't see them in top 10. I feel this one stood out from the crowd once I received it from posting, and I said, well, this one, we need to pay attention to that one. It's a different entry, comes with a very nice video, a whole package, a message, all those things put together. Let me believe that it's a song, it's a strong candidate, and therefore I feel they're going to be win. And pay attention to it. If it's going to win, it's going to be their first victory. So let me talk about the countries, about the records now, or do you want me to summarize? Again, yeah, to summarize the top 10, from 10 to first, are Lithuania, Venezuela, Sweden, Poland, Estonia, the Philippines, France, Saudi Arabia, New Zealand, and Germany. And from all those, we said that Saudi Arabia and Philippines, we might have the best result. For Philippines, it's going to be the first top 10. Saudi Arabia already has a top 10, but it's just, I think this time it's very likely they're going to improve their record. And Germany, New Zealand, if they win, they're going to improve their result as well. They've been second at least once before. And from the players, the records we are looking at is again Postain. It's going to be his first victory if he wins. And if he's also be, anything in top 7, which I think is very achievable, is going to be his best result. And from other players, we have Franco. The record we're expecting is what I mentioned, is first back-to-back top 10 result. That's the records I'm expecting from to break in terms of players. So that was a top 10. What about the top 16 or other countries? I think they might be in top 10, and these countries most probably they will, as always my prediction, they might replace the last 3 or the last 4 of the predicted top 10. In order of possibility, I have the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Korea, then Mexico and Kenya. About Mexico and Kenya, I don't think there's going to be in top 10 at all. It's a lower, but I still believe they'll in top 16. As for the other countries, I do think they have realistic chances of entering top 10, but I as always, I provided it as a strict top 10, so I stick to it, and my record brings again at the top 10, not what I predicted as 11 and 12. And just looking at it, I thought that like the previous time, I had quite a few ballads in territory 11 to 16, and one of them managed to be actually in the top 10. That was Switzerland. And I'm looking now to my top 10. Apart from Sweden and Saudi Arabia, which is a slow song, I don't have actually any other ballad, and even Sweden is not traditionally straightforward ballad. Let's see, the one I see here is Australia, and which acoustic, and that's what prevailed previous time for Switzerland. So let's see, maybe Australia manages to be the only ballad. We're gonna see Kenya is also as well a similar instrumental ballad, but recently this style is not doing that well. If we're just talking about the first season of VFoS, people who don't know it, if they go, they're gonna see such style was won at least twice with the United Kingdom, and then we had another entry of mine and Mijo says that were in the near the top 5. One was top 5, one was 7th. It's very interesting to see what is going to happen. And then we have also from the other spectrum where North Korea with Landbit, whether you like it or not, is an entry that will create a stir. So I was very curious to see where it will go. I had a rough idea what is going to happen. I'm not going to say anything now. Everything will be revealed later on. And that's all about prediction. I'm hoping to do also videos about the voting. That will be down to how many people will be left to vote on Thursday. Reason is that I'm off work starting from Thursday. I was supposed to be in Cyprus traveling on the 17th, and normally on the first 2 days I don't go out, I stay at home with parents, do things with them, so I could juggle all together. But that's not the case this time. I'm not traveling. Decided not to travel because of restrictions and lockdowns, but it's not the best period to go to again. So I will be in London, out of work. I'm still taking my annual leave. So I don't know where I will be. I might just be away the whole day or stay overnight to my boyfriend's place. So I don't know. I will see, because obviously I need to have all the voters in and they're starting doing them, because the order is important. If they need to be ordered, that I can't do the record as the votes come, because it's when I decide to do the order. Normally I follow the order of the draw, and many people from the beginning are missing. I'm not doing anything. I'm waiting to see to have the complete order. So this one looks a little bit unlikely with the new developments, unless I'm at home at some point on Friday. Then I can do it. And again on Friday, which is the voting period. Voting period, just to be on the safe line, I don't want it to be evening. That was my initial plan, was to be evening, because I know I will be at home. As a curfew in Cyprus, that you can go out of 9. So that one sat perfectly with my schedule. But now I'm not, unless we're heading to a new lockdown here. Anyway, I'm just saying, if things if I don't have restrictions again here in London, I will try to do it as early as possible. Then I will go out in the evening. If not, I will do it evening. But I need to. Well, actually, again, I'm not following the rules, to be honest. So I might go out again. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's very open field. I will decide about the exact time one day before. So the last thing, on Thursday. One thing I want to tell you, I want to discuss with you. It is an idea of me which I presented in a comment section. Some of you replied to them and were positive, but nobody else has expressed negatively. But there's no point. It's not bad if you respond to this negative. I just wanted to know that. The reason I'm bringing it just because nobody thought negatively about that. My idea is supposed to have an additional edition in February. I'm not planning to have this every year. It just reflects that this year we don't have many national finals in Eurovision. A reason we didn't have a February edition, as you know, just because many of us following the national finals of Eurovision. Personally, I don't follow this one very closely. Each year I'm abstaining. I'm very picky. I need to find a national final that is really good, and I don't have anything better to do on a Saturday, which hasn't been the case recently. So I'm willing to take responsibility of the administration any way it comes to me. I'm the next in line. I would take March as well, because we decided at the beginning it's gonna be me, the March special edition. I know quite few are willing to do so, 7, which is not a good number. So if there are more people who want to do that, just let me know. So if you feel that you don't want to do it, just let me know so as well, so I have a rough idea who is interested and who is not. And based on how many people of the turnout, I will decide whether we should have one or not. But on the other hand, I thought if we want to keep doing it, because I thought many people are quite willing to do that, to make it twist to it, if we are, let's say, 14 or 15 people, even 10 or 12 is okay. I've thought of allowing people to pick 2 countries, so we are increasing the number of participation, because for me, if we have an edition around 25 songs, we can see go ahead, even at least 20 is okay. So after you see this comment, after reading the video, just in the comment section, tell me whether you would still like to do that or not, even the negative, even if you are opposed to that, it's good, it's fine. I just need to know whether, because of what I need to do just to make a attempt to count people who want to be in and who is not going to be, and that based on that I will have a rough idea whether these wells if it was introducing an additional edition. But to sum it up, just consider that it's too much having so many editions, but you do have already 1 month ahead of you to find an additional entry if you want, or 2 entries, who knows, if we go with the plan that we do say these 2 entries is going to be quite exciting. Anyway, that's all. That's what I think about the top 10. So when I hope many people comment on my video about the prediction, cast their own prediction, because the more predictions, the better idea we get for the results. But on the other hand, it's good to not to reveal everything like we do it in ETSC when the predictions have been so accurate. So 8 out of 10 songs, we know them. But whereas in VFoS, the less people who predict, the less predictions, the more exciting it becomes, isn't it? Because we haven't been very accurate recently. So, but anyway, that's all. I don't have anything else to show to you apart from what I discovered here. That's the Torah, but yeah, behind everything. They're not mine, obviously. They're just the one in the house before I arrived, so soon they will be taken out. I found this one, a very old records with Jewish music. So very old ones. I think they were in the 40s and the 50s produced from the Columbia Records in New York. So very, very old stuff here. I wonder how much they will worth. Worth if you try to bet if I go and sell it somewhere, how much money I will make. Anyway, I will think about it. If they don't take it, I might do so. So that's all. And thank you for listening. And see you again. You will see me again Friday. Bye-bye. Now I can't stop it.